All right. Let me see. All right. So first of all, I want to all right, can anyone make sure that they can hear me? I just want to double check. All of you
Yes.
can. Oh, okay. All right, perfect. So first of all, I want to go ahead and review chapter 11.
Hey guys, it's gonna lock in.
Can you guys make sure that you on mute? All right, thank you. All right, so first of all, I want to review chapter 11 first, because I think it's important to get everyone on the same page onto how to do chapter 11. So chapter 11 are mainly looking at how to computing the NPV, how to computing NPV, net present value, the IRR, internal rate of return, PI value, and PB value. So PB is payback, PA is PI, I believe is something index. Yeah. All right. Lastly, you also need to know how to find the EAA. And we will begin to compute that using this problem I have right here. All right. So just a heads up on the exam, you have to know the PI, the P index formula, and also the payback formula. These are not given, so you have to watch out. All right, so let's start the question computing PI first. All right, so right here, cash outlay is 25,000, which is we know cash outlay mean the outflow of money, so it's going to be a negative 25,000 in at the beginning, so at year 0, and then the project expected to generate a cash flow of 68 6,800 for 10 years, right? So per year for 10 year. And at the end, there will be a last cash flow of 11,000 in the last year. So one heads up I want to give you guys is you guys see that right here say initial outlay. Right here say cash flow each year. And right here say one-time cash flow. So if you kind of like remember chapter 12, the next chapter, you you have to
Okay, I'll be back in like an hour and a half.
so
Can you try to hit the lib?
Yeah,
can
yeah, I'm down. After chapter.
I apologize. Please.
Daniel, you're not muted.
Oh,
Sorry.
No.
All right, thank you. All right, so just a heads up right here. Initial outlay, that one thing you have to find in the next chapter. Cash flow each year, that's something you have to find in next chapter, and cash flow at the end. So initial outlay is one thing. Give me 1 second. So I'm trying to begin. Okay, so cash flow each year is another piece that you have to find. And lastly, that is the terminal cash flow, right? So that is the 3-step stuff that that we learned in chapter 12. However, in chapter 11, right now, these 3 number is given to you already. So let use these 3 value to find first the profitable index. All right. So what is the equation for profitable index that I just showed you guys? It is net present value plus initial outlay plus initial outlay divided by initial outlay. All right, so first we have to find net present value. And how do we do that? All right, I want, if you guys on your calculator, go to your calculator and hit CF on your calculator. And then if it's not a zero value, you want to change it into zero by hitting second button, and then hit the clear button at the bottom. All right, so your calculator should put CFO equal to 0. All right, now to compute the net present value, you have to first input negative of 25,000. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. 25,000, change it into minus sign. So your calculator right now should look something like this: CFO equal negative 25,000. You're gonna hit the enter button on your calculator, hit the arrow down. All right. And then you will see that right now it says CO1, which mean the cash flow, the first cash flow. We know that it's gonna be 6,800 is the cash flow for 10 year, each year for 10 years. So that what we're gonna put in here. We're gonna put 6,800. All right, I'm gonna hit 6,800, hit enter, arrow down. All right, now onto the point where you see FO1 is asking how many period do you have of that of this 6,800 repeated, and how many do we have? We have 10 in total, right? We have 10 in total. I'll show you guys here. Let me see. The project for 10 years, All right. However, I want you to only put 9 period. Why is it? The reason why is at the year 10, you're gonna have 2 payment. You're gonna have the 6,800, and you also has the terminal cash flow, which is the 11,000 right here, right? So at the end, you know that it's going to be 6,800 plus 11,000 at the end. So for the FO1 right here, I want you guys to hit 9.
I'm sorry, people. There's some people in the group me that are saying they're in the waiting room.
Okay, let me see.
Sorry.
No. Thank you for letting me know. I think yes. All right, let me add it in. Okay, should be good. All right, if anything happen, like just give me a heads up. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna put 9 as F01. Enter, scroll down. Now it say CO2, right? Which means the next payment. The next payment, like I tell you guys, is 6,800 at 11,000, right? So that is how you're gonna input into the calculator. Let me see, 6,800 plus 11,000. All right, that is 17,800, and that should be the value for CO2. You're gonna hit enter down. Right now, where it say FO2, you only put 1 because it just only happened one time, right? Up here, the 6,800 happened 9 period, and so this value 17,800 is only happened 1 time at the end. So we're gonna hit enter, down arrow, and then finally you're gonna hit compute. CPT, which on the calculator is this value right here. Compute hit NPV, which is this value right here. NPV. All right, it's gonna ask you for the interest. What is the interest that given? Right here, 12%. So you're gonna put 12, hit enter, down arrow, and then NPV equal to 0. That is what its output. You're gonna hit compute CPT once again. All right, and the value you got is 16,663.22. That is the net present value. Then let me double check if that's correct. Okay, it's correct. 16,963.22. All right, going back to the PI. The PI.
Sorry to interrupt. Hello?
Hello?
People's mics are on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but other people's mics are on, so it like cuts out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do you have the ability to like mute everyone from your end?
Oh, I see. Let me see. Let me try to see. Okay, I think I could ask to mute. Yeah, well, yeah, I think it should be good right now. Everyone is on mute right now. All right. All right, should be good. All right, so payback in profitability index. All right, my apologies, guys. One last thing I want to point out is when you're looking at the NPV, whenever the NPV value is greater than 0, you accept the project. Whenever it's less than 0, which means it's a negative NPV, you rejected it. You're gonna reject it. And one observation is that whenever you're looking at NPV, IRR, PI, PB, the best indicator of which project to take on is the NPV. Whichever project have a higher NPV, you will want to select that one. If you are talking about how about the EAA, then when you're facing the problem that give you 2 projects with different life, with different timeline, and what I mean by different timeline is that in this problem you see that it's saying 10 years, right? So let's say another problem give you that instead of 10 years it give you 5 years. Then you have to use the EAA value to compare. Whichever have a better EAA is the better project to tax. However, if it doesn't require you to find the EAA, then the best is looking at the NPV. Whichever project have a higher NPV and is positive, then you want to take on that project. All right. All right, coming back to computing the profitability index, then what you do is you're just gonna add the NPV that we find, which is 16,963.22 plus initial outlay in this case is given to you already, 25,000 divided by 25,000. All right, if you do that, you will get the profitability index. All right, IRR. Well, yeah. Let's look at the IRR first. So when you're looking at IRR, it's kind of similar way. You have to input the value into the calculator, like how you do the NPV. So right now we're gonna do that together. All right, so first, again, hit on the CF button. All right, if you see the CFO is a number other than 0, then you have to hit second. You're gonna hit second and clear. Second clear. All right, all good. All right, first value once again is a negative 25. The CFO gonna be, you have to input negative 25,000. We're gonna do that. 25,000. Enter down arrow like the step process before. All right, CO1, the same, 6,800 for the payment. Enter down. All right, how many times that it repeated is 6,800? Gonna be 9 times, right? Because even though that is say 10 years, you only want to put 9 times because you know that at the 10 time, they're gonna be the terminal cash flow, the only final cash flow 11,000. So the last one gonna be 6,800 plus the 11,000. All right, so you're gonna hit 9 for the FO1. Hit enter down CO2. Like I said, the last payment have these two combined. So 6,800 plus 11,000. 11,000, that is 17,800. Hit enter down. All right, for FO2, this payment only happened one time, so enter down. All right, so from before you hit compute NPV, right? But this time you have to hit compute IRR. So because this one is asking to find IRR, so what you did is hitting compute button, hit IRR, compute IRR. In this case, you just, after you hit IRR, say IRR equals 0. You just hit compute one more time. And it should give you 25.56. And let me check. Yeah, 25.56 is the answer. All right. Lastly, compute the payback, the PB value. And how do we do it? All right. Like I said, the PI and PB will not provide it to the formula will not be provided. So right here, the PB is say the initial outlay divided by annual cash flow. All right, initial outlay that we already know. 25,000 divided by annual cash flow. Annual cash flow is 6,800 right here. And that should give 25,000 divided by 6,800, 3.67. All right, that's how you compute the PB value. This one is PB value. When right here, it say that it requires 3 years to pay back. However, in reality, it's take 3.67 years to pay back. So if you look at the PB value, you don't want to accept, you want to reject this project, right? Because this value is, it takes longer than the required value to pay back. Also, I forgot to mention when you're looking at the IRR, right? The IRR we got is the value we got is 25.56% from before, and 25.56% from before, and this value is higher than the 12%, which means we will accept this project if we're looking at the IRR. So whenever the IRR is bigger than the expected return. In this case, the expected return is given 12%, right? So whenever the IRR is greater than the expected return, you accept. All right. So let's recap. Whenever NPV is greater than 0, you accept the project. The greater the NPV, the better the project. IRR, when the IRR is greater than the expected return, you accept the project. When you look at the PI profitability, profitable index, if it's greater than 1, then you accept the project. From before, what did I got? Okay. Okay, my 1 second. Okay, so the answer for profitable index is 1.68, so it's greater than 1, so you're gonna accept it. Lastly, when you look at the payback, like I said, it takes longer to pay back, so you're gonna reject the project when you so you're gonna reject the project if you only solely looking at the payback, right? However, the best thing to look at if you have these all four, NPV, IRR, PI, PB, is looking at the NPV. The one that have higher NPV is the one that is a better project to tax. Okay, now I want to talk about the EAA. Like I said before, just reminder, EAA is deal with 2 projects, more than 1 projects, when they have different lives. This problem right here is 10 years, but let's pretend another project that is in 5 years. Then you have to use the EAA. All right. There will not be a formula about EAA for you. However, I will write it down right here, just so hopefully it's make it easier for you guys to look at. All right. So when you find the EAA, what you do is that, all right, you're gonna need the net present value. You're gonna need that. And what I'm gonna do is that on your calculator, I want you to on your calculator, let's say that the net present value for this problem, we found it before to be 16,963.22. All right. What I want you to do is you're gonna put this value as a present value on your calculator. So that what I'm gonna do, 16,963.22. 16,963.22. Put it as a present value. All right, on to the interest. It's going to be 12%, which is the given right here, 12%. So for the I/Y, you're going to put 12%. For how many years? For 10 years, right? So for the N, you're going to put, for the N right here, you're going to put 10 years. All right, and then you're going to hit compute PMT, compute payment, right? So you got the payment, the payment will be 3002.22. So the logic here is that you try to see what is the payment that I will receive if I'm to take on this project of 10 years. All right, so you could imagine that, let's say another project and it's only for 4 years. Then for this N right here, you're gonna hit 4, right? And then just the same thing, the net present value, you're gonna put in the PV. The I is the expected return. The N gonna be specifically for that project. This project is 10 years. If you compare with another project that is 5 years, then the N gonna be 5 for another projects. And then lastly, just hit compute payment because you're interested in comparing the 2 payment. Let's say another project give the payment of 2,000.00, right? Then this project is better. This 3,000 payment each month is a better project to tax. So this is the EAA. All right. All right, and that is a recap of chapter 11. Once again, you have to be very confident in computing NPV, IRR, PI, PB. EAA is only compared when two projects have different lives. All right.
Hey, Wayne, I just real fast. I don't know if I missed it, but did you compute the PI? I don't know if
Yes.
you did.
Yes. I did just a quick recap. So PI, like I said, will not provide it formula on the test. So you have to know that and it's equal to NPV plus initial outlay divided by initial outlay. The NPV we have already go through. All right, I think one good things to point out as well is the PB. In this problem, you could find the PB by the by putting in the number, which is PB equal to initial outlay divided by annual cash flow. Initial outlay we have, annual cash flow also given, so we could find the PB. However, if instead they give you a charge like this, and they say that from years at right now, the cost of the project is 25,000. The first year gonna give you back 10,000. Second year gonna give you back 10,000. Third year will be 10,000. Fourth year gonna be another 10,000. And then they ask, what is the PB? Then what should you do? Something that I would do is that you see that from in year one, it reduced the net loss to 15,000. So definitely 1 year is counted. All right, from year 1 to year 2, which reduced the net loss to negative 5,000. So definitely have to go through year 2. All right, to year 3, you make a positive 10,000. You make a positive 10,000. So it is more than a negative 5,000 you have right here. So definitely it's in between year 2 and year 3. So it's probably like 2.5 years, something like that. Definitely not in 3 years, right? Definitely not in 3 years. However, if you want to be specifics, something you have to do is that this 5,000 you still in a lost. You want to see like, that 10,000 is what you're gonna find in a year, right? So it's from year 2 to year 3, that is 1 year. 1 year. So year 2 to year 3, 1 year, and you make 10,000 in 1 year. So I just put 10,000 over 1 and then set it equal to 5,000. And then I have to find this question mark right here. So it's kind of like a ratio type problem. If you want to ask why is it, I will explain further to you, but then something you would do is cross multiply, right? So 5,000 multiply with 1 and then divide by 10,000. And let's see, what does it give? All right, so it's say 0.5, right? So which mean first year, 1 year, 2 years, and then a half, right? So you're gonna add 1 plus 1 plus 0.5. So to be exact, that is 2.5 years. All right. All right. So if you're looking at this problem, I would say that on the test, probably most of the case, she's gonna give you the word problem like this. However, if she throw you a table right here, don't be panicked just yet. Try to see, all right, there's a 2 project type. So probably, all right, they have different lives. Probably have to look at the EAA. Like I said before, it requires the NPV to do the EAA. And if you have the NPV, you have to put it as the present value on your calculator and somehow try to compute the payment on your calculator, right? Okay, so let's see. All right, initial outlay, I know that. This one right here kind of confusing, but it's talking about payment. So payment for each year and how many year, 4 year. So just, however, this type problem doesn't give you the final cash flow, right? Doesn't give you the terminal cash flow, the one-time payment at the end. Very easily, you can find the NPV for sure. You're gonna put the first CO, first thing is a negative 3,000, and then as the cash, as the payment, you're gonna put 10,500. And then how many times does 10,500 happen? 4 times, right? So you're gonna hit number 4 instead of having number 1 there. Because this one doesn't have the terminal cash flow. So you're just gonna hit 4. You don't have to hit like before when I tell you guys just hit 9 years, 9 period only. No, this one you hit 4 because the 4th year payment is the cash flow payment already. So you don't have to like add the final stuff that extra given to you. All right, so that is how you find NPV. So after you find NPV, like I said, you're gonna set it as a present value. Right here, 12%. How many years? 4 years. You're gonna hit compute for a payment. All right, the same thing. After you find the NPV for project B, put present value, put the NPV as the present value, try to find the payment, and then so the NPV for so the project B will have 8 years, right? Project A is 4 years. However, at the end, you will try to find the payment for both, and you comparing the 2 payment, and that is the EAA, right? Which one have a better payment? Which one have a better payment? You want to accept that project. All right, don't let the box type problem drag you down so much. All right, and that is a recap of chapter 11. However, I think most of the test will be about chapter 12, so I'm gonna jump right into chapter 12 right now. All right, give me a moment. Problem exam 3. All right. All right, so first of all, I'm going to talk about what. All right, before we jump right in, I want to tell you guys again, initial outlay is something that's given to you right here, right? However, jumped into chapter 12, initial outlay, you have to find it. There's an equation for you to find it. And it's also given to you on the exam, on the formula sheet right here, initial outlay. That's one thing you have to find. All right. Another thing you have to find is right here, cash flow each year of 6,800. All right. There will be an equation to find the cash flow. And also it has on the, give me 1 second. Where is it? Oh. Okay. And like I said, it's gonna given you right here, net cash flow. So initial outlay given to you, net cash flow given to you. What doesn't given to you is the terminal. Right here, the one-time one-time after-tax cash flow of 11,000. That is the terminal cash flow right here. This equation right here will not be given to you on the equation sheet. What else doesn't given to you? All right, let's say I'm looking at the equation sheet trying to find the all right, I'm looking at the equation sheet trying to find initial outlay. So definitely this equation right here is what I'm interested in looking at. All right, total cost of the project should be easy. Net working capital, easy to find. Tax, all asset salvage. One thing to look down is anything that have to say with old, anything that referring to old, that is using for initial outlay. So that is the keyword right there. Whenever you see like something that say old, that is referring to the old asset salvage. Also, when the word salvage, it have the same meaning with selling. So anytime you see on the exam, let's say the selling of the old asset is 25,000, it's just meaning that the salvage value of old asset. So the word selling is the same as salvage. All right. Tax FX doesn't given to you. The formula for tax FX is not given to you. And right here, this is my version of the formula. They're gonna give you this. They're gonna give you this. All the thing that they don't is this one, and this one. All right. So let's talk about first about tax FX. So tax FX is cost of asset minus book value multiplied with the tax. All right. So book value, I would say that usually they were straight up telling you that book value. They're gonna say like the book value of old asset is blah blah blah. Then you know that is the book value. All right, guys. We have less than 1 minute. Zoom is make it difficult for us to continue to doing it, but we will resume in 10 minutes. However, just a reminder, this will be recorded, and yes, I would try to admit as many people as possible. However, my focus is on going through everything as much as possible. So I will see you guys in another 10 minutes as around 4:50 or yeah, 4:50.